Welcome, Nikhil. You're talking to all the future aspirants, who want to become officer. So, do tell us, what inspired you to become an officer in the Indian military?
Um, Ma'am, I used to go to running with my father in my childhood, in the grounds near my home. So I saw there many seniors running, and they were preparing for army and air force. I mean, they were preparing for running and all. So first of all, that was the start of my preparation and my inspiration actually. But I took science in my class after my class 10th, and naturally I went into my JE preparation, and I did not explore much about India and defense. And hopefully, and luckily I cleared JE and I got into IIT Roorkee. And also, I completed my first year there, and I'm just studying my third semester now. So, being in IIT Roorkee, just nearby IIT Roorkee, there was Roorkee camp. So, I used to go for running there also. So, I mean, slowly, that started building up inside me, and I was actually, I always liked the uniform and the pride of the uniform and how how hard work they are doing for us and for our country. So I mean that was the source of inspiration, and slowly I started to explore about what is defense and what is Navy, Air Force, and army and the posts and ranks and every the work they are doing and the hell amount of hard work they are facing and all. So that inspired me. And being in IIT, I always wanted to do something for my country and do something good and something impactful for my country. And I mean, be among them. I just appeared for the NDA examination, being in college only, and, and then now I'm.
Right. So you got selected in IIT Roorkee, and after that, I think the syllabus and the curriculum at IIT, it's quite hard as well. And
Yeah.
while you were in college, you prepared for your exam, and then you also gave SSB interview. So how did you juggle both of these things?
Uh, and since the NDA exam consists of physics, maths, chemistry, and biology, I mean maths and science part, and then SST and GK part, and then English also. So English, as we know, it was I mean doable, and for maths and science, it was just the syllabus of 9, 10, and if you have read carefully, then you would be able to do it. And about for SST, I used to go to library and I used to study the current affairs and related to that. And this I was doing for written examination, and obviously science and maths part was a bit easy for me since I've been through JE preparation and all. So that's how I prepared for the written examination. I also appeared for some mock test, the previous year questions paper, and I took three mock tests if I remember, uh, being in library, and that's how I could do that written examination.
Yes.
So that's how I prepared, ma'am. I mean, लाइब्रेरी में पढ़ते हुए और side by side I was studying for my semester also, and I had a habit of going to library for NDA written preparation. I appeared for mock test. Maths and science part was easy for me since I was through JE preparation, and for SST I used to uh, watch a few YouTube channels, like the YouTube channels which I used to follow in my class 9th or 10th for my SST syllabus and all. And for GK, I used to watch. I also started reading newspapers, and but I was not able to extract much of it. I mean, I was mostly reading the headlines, and then I was googling it, and that's how I was doing GK. And the English part was obviously doable, so I could the written examination.
Nice, nice. Could you also tell us, how you got to know about Colonel Sharma, and what was it about his training that you really liked, and how that helped you?
I actually wanted to after getting selected for the SSB interview. So I actually wanted to do offline coaching for SSB. but due to some constraints, I mean, uh, मैंने ऐसे plan करा कि I will go for online coaching, and I started for searching some academies, and I obviously searched upon the YouTube first. So I came across FAO Colonel Rajvir Sharma, and I looked at his videos about CAT and VAT and PPDT and all, and I really found that relevant, and in a short time. So I thought I could contact him, so I just found his number, and I made a call to him, and that's how I could connect to him.
Nice. And what about, his teaching method did you really like the most? And, if there was something that, he taught and वो SSB में वही तुम्हें याद आया कि हाँ सर ने ये बताया था. So was that helpful? Like कुछ
Yes,
ऐसा है?
yes. First of all, so sir was not only teaching. I mean, he was pointing out my weaknesses, and he was asking me to work upon it rather than just teaching and giving things. And also, he started from the basics of SSB. I mean, he was particularly SSB oriented as well. I mean, he started from day one screening, PPDT, and OIR test, and till the way through the interview. So he started in a sequence day wise, and briefed me about the all the tests, like the psychology test and the GPO and the interview and all. So, and also he was sending me current affairs clips, I mean, daily on WhatsApp. So it was easier for me to sieve out the news, as I recently started reading newspapers, so I was not making much of it. I mean, I didn't know how to read newspaper and what to read and what not to read, what to eliminate. So he was sending me these clips, and that made me easy for to get the news. And I mean, I was just reading those clips, and I could get off it. Uh, so and what else? He was for that. I mean, he was more focusing upon the psychology test preparation, that is the TAT, VAT, SRT, and SPT. So, I mean, he taught me to be positive, and I mean, basically, he taught me to avoid negativity. Just he taught me to avoid negativity and how to be positive in life, and how to have a positive approach toward anything. So that, I mean, it is not about the 5 day, I mean, the preparation just before the SSB. And before it is about how we mold ourselves before the SSB preparation. I mean, it is not only about the preparation just before SSB or 1 month coaching. And it is about our perception, how we perceive things or situations in our daily life. And that's how you get through SSB. So, and also as I said, he pointed out weaknesses and asked me to uh, make it better. So that's how.
That is really nice to hear. I'm very sure when Colonel Sharma sees this particular video,
Yeah.
he'll be very happy to hear that everything that he prepared you for was quite helpful. Do let us know, what the 5 day SSB experience was like, starting from day one, and what kind of advice you have for the aspirants who would be going for their SSBs and might be a little nervous. So what can you're a recommended candidate now, so what can they learn from your experience? What advice do you have for them? And of course tell us how what the 5 days were like.
So the first day was screening. So it consisted of OIR test and the psychology OIR test and PPDT, and our psychology test also took place in the first day only. Took place on the first day only. So in screening, basically OIR is basic reasoning. If you have that, I mean, that mental ability test, basically the reasoning test. So you need to have a clear mind and solving problem solving skill, so reasoning skill basically. So you can go through it, and then the PPT. So obviously you need to do some practice for writing the stories. I mean, it has to be written in a manner, so you need to practice that. and for we also have narration and the group discussion. So the main part is about the narration and the group discussion. And I mean, you have to be confident. We were 9 members in the group, and I was chess number 37. So I mean, I found almost 5 to 6 members from my group. I mean, they were very confident while narrating, and guess what? They were only selected for. I mean, they were only screened in. I mean, the narration part and the group discussion part should highlight your confidence. Rather, the stories, whatever theme you choose, doesn't matter. But I mean, it should be positive after all. But the narration and the group discussion part should be in confident. I mean, you should look confident while speaking and about the psychology part and sorry, the screening part and obviously I got screened in and yeah, and then we got 2 3 hours of break and rest, and then again we had a psychology test of almost 2.5 hours. I mean, continuing till 2.5 hours. So there were 4 tests, as you know, TAT, VAT, SRT, and STT. So I don't want to discuss about how what are the rules and what are how. I mean, I will say कि VAT I could attempt all, and TAT I could attempt all. I mean, there were 2 stories which I couldn't finish. Rather, other stories I could attempt all, and then SRT I could only do 49 questions out of 60, and a self-description test that is bit of cake. I mean, you just need to know about yourself and you could go through. So this was psychology test, and after the psychology test, we were totally exhausted. I mean, just it was a very continuous process, back to back, all the tests, and we had almost no time for thinking. I mean, uh, so we were totally exhausted after psychology test, and then next day on the day two, I mean, we have the GTO test on day two. We had the GTO test on day two and day three. So I mean, we were a total of 5 groups of total 64 people. So uh, uh, day two and day three we had GTO test, and one thing I remember from my GTO test, I remember colonels have said कि I mean the golden rule of GTO test is uh, to to stand and walk in a group, and I mean you have to बेसिकली आपको सबके साथ मिलकर के चलना है हर एक सिचुएशन में, सबका बात सुनना भी है, कहना भी है। आई मीन साथ 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 चलना है बस, एंड यू हैव टू वर्क, यू हैव टू बेसिकली एक्ट, एक्शन आपको करते रहना है। तो ये था। तो डे टू वी हैड टेस्ट, speaking test. I mean, non-physical test like we were. What was that? GP, so group planning exercise, group discussions, and lecture rate, and yeah, and these three were the tests in day one. Sorry, day two. That is the GTO test. So I could do well in the GTO. I mean the group discussion and the group planning exercise, and in lecture rate as well. I was able to speak for the 3 minutes, the entire 3 minutes, and then next day were physical kind of GTO exercises. So we were having the full group task and the half group task, and then individual obstacles, and the final group task. So we could do all. I mean, I could do all, and we could do all. Basically, we were in a group, and we have to do it together. So that's how our GTO finished, and then in day four was my interview. So they took my my interview was with my interviewer was Wing Commander Vikas Taneja, if I am not wrong. So uh, he was a very bright officer. I mean, there was something coming from him, coming out from him. I mean, something positive, very positive coming out from him. Although he was kind of strict, but I really enjoyed. I mean, there was a point where where he scolded me, and he asked me about five international and national news, and I said, and then he said, "Ki 2 months earlier," and then all the news which were coming in my mind was of were recently only. So I spoke about the those news only, and then uh, he scolded me. Ki, this is again a recent news. I asked you about 2 months old news. So I mean that was one thing, and in interview he basically asked about he. I mean there were 70% questions were around you, around me only. I mean, how educational qualifications, family, friends, and my preparations and my academics and all. And then rest 30% questions were on the current affairs and the uh, general knowledge and what is the motivation of joining defense and some information related to Air Force and commands and ranks and all. So this was it, and yeah, this was the interview. And on the conference day, obviously there were many, I mean, many officers sitting out there in a semicircular, not semicircular, but what to say, ulta U-shaped fashion. I mean, this way. So they were sitting. I was a bit nervous, and on the conference they asked about how was your stay and what is your hobby, and then they said, okay, you can go. So it was fun. And
That
one
was a
thing I
very
would like,
extensive interview, and it's good to have officers that are like that feel like they're so bright and positive in a way, but like also scolding you at the same point in time. But like you were saying something, I
yeah,
cut you off. What were you saying?
yeah. So one thing that I would like to tell my juniors, I mean the aspirants, you should always believe in yourself. Actually, what happened? My interview, till the point he was asking questions related to me, so it was all good. I mean, it went very good. And when he started about, the news part and the general knowledge part. So I am not actually good into GK. I'm not very strong into GK. So I mean, I got scolding one time and that I stare 2 3 times. I mean, I there was a point when I said something wrong. I mean, the GK fact part. So he was staring and he was saying, really? So after the interview, I was very, I mean, uh, I was very sad, kind of, because I thought my interview was not that good. Other cadets, other gentlemen, I mean, my friends were saying their interviewer was laughing with them, and I mean, they laughed very much. I mean, and they said, and he said many funny incidents, and they were laughing. So I thought my interviewer was very strict, and I won't be, he won't recommend me. I mean, from the interview side. So I was very upset for that day after my interview. And on the conference day, I mean, I was chest number 22 after getting screened in. So he came like chess number one. I mean, while announcing who all got recommended, he said like chess number one. I mean, I was sure that I won't get recommended, and I even called my father and said, "Ki book my ticket, and I won't be recommended. My interview was not that good." So he even booked. My father even booked the ticket, and then while announcing the result, so he said chess number one, chess number five, then chess number 19, chess number 20, chess number 21, and since I was chess number 22, he said chess number 22. And I could not even believe that. I thought he might have misspelled. It could be 23, and he went on to the last, and then again he repeated. I would repeat, and he again said chess number 22. Then I felt it is real actually, and I was very happy at that moment. I mean, that's the thing. You should believe in yourself. I mean, what they are looking inside you, I mean, they know that, and you would not know the entire thing. I mean, obviously, you would be able to get some things, but what? entirely they are looking into yourself. They only know, and so you should believe in yourself and give your best. Give your best. Just do your part from your end. Rest, they will do.
Thank you so much, Nikhil, for coming on
Yeah.
this podcast. Right. I'm very sure that our viewers would be very inspired to hear from you. Thank you so much.